Okay, this video is about custom views. Custom views are, in my opinion, one of the most exciting new features in the HTML5 product. They perhaps are not the most visually stimulating. There are some really cool visualizations in this product, but they really do allow an administrator to uh, create the environment they want for their user. So restrict the functionality, create a very specific view, or expand out the functionality and give their user a lot of capabilities. And I think that ultimately really ends up being critical to the success of a larger environment. So anyway, what are we going to do today? We'll talk about what a custom view is, and we will create one. We're going to do these two things together, as there's no better way to understand what a view is than to create one and see it. We're going to edit one, we'll assign one, and we'll delete one. This is a pretty rich topic, so I'm going to try to move a little faster than normal and try to still keep it reasonably short. So anyway, we are in the custom view. When you first log in, it will in fact look like this, with this being blank. It should look something like that when you log in, but it doesn't really matter. In any event, we're on the creating a new custom view. We could also edit existing custom views if we want, simply by clicking on this, and then it would give us our option of editing our custom views, of which we only have one at the moment. And let me show you that OCD view so you know what that is. That is a really simple view with just the filters on the left and the grid on the right, with a calendar option as well. But it was designed for the most simplistic viewer that just wants to be able to filter and look at his grid and search and do simple things like that and label. So let's go back to the desktop and create a view now. All right, we're going to call this Simple Viewer Plus. Sort of our OCD view is our most simplistic view. This is going to be Simple Viewer Plus. And let me explain the options here. You have the option of having a 3-panel, at most a 3-panel screen. The most feature-rich interaction you could possibly create would be the FTK view. Let me show you that really quickly. These are the 3 panels you have. You can have a left panel, a right panel. Both of these are top panels, so left top, right top. And then you can have a bottom panel. And depending on the sizing proportions you pick, your panel can be as much as 200% of your screen. So if you choose 100% for the top panel and 100% for the bottom panel, you'd have a scroll option that would allow you to go, again, a virtual screen size of 200%. The left panel can only have one widget in it. The bottom panel can only have one widget in it. The right panel can have all the widgets in it, which is what the FTK user effectively gets. So they can do timeline, they can do whatever they want with all these different widgets. So that is, if you will, the most feature extreme view there is. But let's create something less than that. So let's do a single view split in the middle. So we'll have top view be 100%, and we're going to have our bottom view be none. So we don't want a bottom view. We're going to have our left pane be 50%. So by default, obviously, our right pane is then also 50%. In our left pane, let's put the viewer. And in our right pane, in our left pane, let's put the grid. And then in our right pane, let's put the document viewer, the calendar, and the timeline. And just because it looks cool, we're going to start out, the first view we see is the timeline. But you'd probably most likely do the viewer. in any event, so what we should have is a split screen. On the left should be the grid. On the right should be the 3 widgets we just chose. There should be nothing on the bottom. So let's go ahead and create that. And it's very quick. It says creating the view. It's done. And here's our view. Now let's just go check it out. Simple Viewer Plus. And that is exactly what we just created. We have a left panel and a right panel. And the left panel is the grid. And our right panel is the timeline, which is our first view. But we also have a calendar and the document viewer here. And you can size it so it would be only 100% of the screen. But again, a view designed very specifically for whatever workflow we had deemed important in this case. So now let's go back to that view, to the administration page. And let's say, oh, no, we've made a mistake. This isn't the right view we wanted. Let's go and edit that. Simple Viewer Plus, click on it, and it should fill it out with the things we had selected. A little bit of a bug here. This should say 50%. We'll fix that before it ships, but you get the point. And let's get it to adjust it. So we'll make, say, our left pane. Yeah, we'll just make it 25%. And we decided that we don't want any of the specialties. We just want the doc viewer. And so we're going to go ahead and just do that. And we're going to go ahead and I want to make sure, yeah, this is still none. Perfect. And we'll update that. And so now we should have a much simpler. And let's say, oh, no, we changed our mind. Hold on. We still want the calendar. We just do that and update. And then we can go right here. Hold on, let me see if that took. Yep. Right here and click it. And again, we should have our grid is now 25%. We have the doc viewer on the right, which is 75%, and we have the calendar view as well. So it was that simple. We can also say, you know what? This was horrible. We don't like this view at all. We've made all sorts of mistakes. We just want to get rid of it. So we just delete it, we wait, it refreshes, and that view is gone. You can no longer select it. Let's say we were happy with our view. In this case, all we have is our OCD view. We can go in and assign that view to roles and groups. Let's click on here, roles. And let's assign it to the Frank role. OCD view. And it can be their start view. And we just save it. And it pops up. And then when Frank users log in, assuming that's the only role they have, they will be presented with that screen as their only interface. And this is a great way when you have a user that has no training and you just want to show him the grid view or some documents. Create a review set for him and then just give him the most simplistic interface and let him log in and go to town. No training needed. Anyway, that is custom views. Play around with it. I think you will really enjoy it, and we'd love any feedback you have. I think there's a ton of stuff we can do with this functionality. I think this is just the beginning. So hopefully this was helpful.